Hey crafters, Leo with the Dreaming Tree, and welcome to the assembly video for our Honeycomb gift box. I've got all of my pieces cut out here in front of me, as should you. And this one's relatively simple, very, well, seasonal. Great seasonal way to give a little gift. Could be for a birthday, just because, get well, whatever it may be. We're going to start off by putting together the base. Very simple. We're going to grab these two pieces and we're going to join them together using the little tabs here. So go ahead and apply glue to one of the tabs. Let's spread that glue out to the edge. Lay that down nice and flat. And grab the other half and just line it up. You want to butt it right up to the score mark. Don't want to go over. It kind of, if you could get it halfway on and halfway off that tiny little score mark, that would be ideal. But butting it up to it is usually fine. These little tabs here, when you fold it over onto itself, they should line up, and then the top of this should also be flush. And that's a good way to judge whether or not you have it lined up properly. Okay. Now, while this is flat, it's a great time to take and apply these decorative panels, which you can see I have a total of 6 here, and I've inked all of them just to kind of jazz it up. The white on this peach color with a little bit of ink looks really nice and summery. And we're just going to apply our glue around the perimeter and just start putting it onto the surface here. Do your best to maintain an even border all the way around. Make sure it's nice and straight. And I might be running out of glue here. I've been crafting since, I know not a lot of you get to do this, but it is my job, so I've been crafting since about 8 a.m. this morning. And it is going on about, I think it's like 7 p.m. now. Okay, we're going to get all 6 of these in place and just build our little base super quick. I'm thinking that this one's going to go maybe 30-ish minutes. Not bad, considering if you want to go buy a gift box, well, for one, you're not going to find one like this, I can guarantee that. And even if you did, you got to get in the car, you got to drive, or I guess you can find one online and have Amazon deliver it, but still. With this, you could at least say, hey, I made that for you. All right, get this one in place. Again, even borders all the way around. I'm kind of using this line here to take the next one and line it up with the previous. So everything looks nice and straight. That lid's gonna actually cover most of it, but the bottom will be visible, and it would just be nice if everything was lined up accurately. Just make it look more professional. Okay, one more. Okay. And we'll pop that one into place. Check your alignment. There we go. Okay. All right, so I'm going to take this now and I'm going to apply glue to this tab. I'm going to do it this way. Got my pointer finger behind it, supporting it. And it's just a lot easier to spread that glue out this way. Okay, you can actually take this and just lay it down flat, grab the other end, and pop it right on there. And press right there. And you can take it and fold it over so that that seam is on the edge. And it just kind of helps wiggle it around to ensure that it fits nicely. There we go. Okay, so there's most of the container. We'll go ahead and flip it over. We have 2 of these hexagon shapes. One that says BL, that's bottom liner, and one that doesn't have anything on it, and that's going to be the actual bottom. I'm going to take and apply glue to just one of the tabs. And I'm going to spread that out to the very edge. And we're going to take this and pop that right on there. Make sure that we get it nice and aligned as far as the centering goes. And it's also out to the edge. And press and hold that down for a second, right up to that edge. And you can take it, just let it drop, and press down on the rest of the tab. Okay, I'm going to lift it back up, and we're going to take and apply glue to the remaining 5 tabs. And I'm going to start over here, and don't be afraid to go a little bit heavier with the glue here, since we have a lot of surface area to cover. We don't want it to start drying on us before we get a chance to not only spread it out, but get this bottom in place. Okay, now here's what we're going to do. We're going to actually focus on getting this side lined up. You can see how it's kind of wonky, has a wonky shape. Just line up this side opposite of the side that was already hinged or anchored, and then you'll notice something peculiar happening. The rest of it just kind of lines up naturally. You may have to kind of nudge the walls in or out ever so slightly. But for the most part, it kind of lines itself up. We can flip it over, push down on the rest of the tab, help that get a grip, and we'll flip it back over and continue pushing down around the perimeter. And that is perfect. This is like the perfect size box for assembling without flaws. Sometimes, well, smaller is fine too. Sometimes you get too big, things just go askew. Okay, all right, now what we're going to do is I need to take and apply some glue along the tabs here on the inside, just around the perimeter, and a little bit in the middle. Take your liner, drop it in, and just push that into place. It's going to cover up those tabs, reinforce the bottom, and there is our beautiful base. Okay. All right, so we can put that off to the side for now. Let's take a look at these pieces here. Okay, this is going to be your decorative pattern paper for the inside. And then we have these pieces here. Now let me just show you real quick here. It starts off like this with the texture side up. We're going to take the larger tab and do a valley fold, meaning you're creating a valley between this side and this side. And then for the shorter tab, I'm going to create a mountain fold. So you're creating a mountain, and just the sides of the mountain. Okay, so we're going to do that to both sides. And then we're going to take and connect these sides together using this little tab here. So I'm actually going to apply glue to the texture side. And then I'm going to tuck that behind the other piece. Now with this yellow, it's a little hard to see the edge, so I'm kind of folding it back at almost a 90-degree angle to make sure that I've got it lined up correctly. We're going to make it one continuous piece. And then, make sure that that is nice and dry before we move on here. Give that a few extra seconds. There we go. And we'll go over to the other side. And got to apply glue to the other triangular tab. And that is going to go on the back of this side. Try to get that lined up nice and square. Press and hold. It's okay if it's like looking like a little house right now. We'll eventually let it go and let it take the shape of a hexagon, but for now, just so I can squeeze these tabs together and so you can see what that's going to look like. Okay, I'm going to take this shape now, and we're really just literally going to pop it in there and force it to take on its correct shape. And you may have to kind of give it a little nudge or a little push here or there. You can tell that it's a little bit tight on that side, but that's okay. There we go. And then what we'll do is we'll flip up one of these tabs, apply just a little bit of glue. You don't need to get crazy. Tuck it back under, put it down flat, and push that down. Make sure that that's up to the edge as far as it'll go. Okay, so we just put this one in place. So let's go over to the one on the opposite of this one, just so we can stagger the resistance there. Fold that back over, and then push that down, like so. Okay, now we can pick any one we want. Let's go here. Apply some glue there, fold it back over, and push that down. Wanted to give the lid a cool recessed look. So we did that one. Let's go over to the one opposite, which is here. So that makes 4, which means after this we have 2 more. There we go. And pick either of the 2 remaining here, and you could technically just fold these out. You could probably just apply glue to both of them. Just get it done now. It's not really moving anywhere at this point. There we go. I'll go over to the other side, give that a press, and here is your recessed part of the lid. Okay, so next what we're going to do is we're going to grab this piece. You see I did a little bit of inking on that, and what we're going to do first is we're going to connect these 2 sections together using this little tab here. Go ahead and apply your glue there. Spread that out nice and thin. And it's kind of a wonky looking tab because we had to avoid that little flower cutout. Okay. Go ahead and press that into place. You can fold it over onto itself. You can see how the flowers should line up perfectly since it's a symmetrical box. Okay. Now, while we have this flat, with the exception of this side here, we don't want to mess with that just yet. I've taken glue these down onto the face of this. This is going to be covered up ultimately, and now I know we're dealing with glitter here, so we are going to have to be kind of patient with letting this dry. And that's going to go on just like that. Okay, and if you're using glitter like I am, you are going to have to wait, because this glitter, for whatever reason, always takes a little bit longer to set. Okay, and then what we're going to do then is close this up like this. It's going to hide it and also kind of secure it as well. Okay, so we're going to continue here with the glitter. Now obviously you want the glitter facing out so that you can see it through the little flowers here. Okay, and then putting it on here, because if I put it on here I won't know exactly where not to put the glue. Okay, so also make sure that you're keeping it within the area of these score marks, otherwise it won't fold. Okay, so yeah, this is a little bit of a pain when you're dealing with glitter, but that's okay. We'll get there. You can put something heavy on it just to help hold it down. That's not exactly the heaviest thing, but I mean, it's better than nothing. It's some gaffer's tape that I use in my studio. Okay, so we'll just keep on cruising here to the next one. And hopefully by the time I'm done putting glue on this one and getting it in place, you can take that. You know, it might be helpful to have some paperweights or something just nearby that you can put on top of this. I should probably think that through for next time. I think what I did this last time. Just put a remote on it. Actually helps. Okay. Moving on here, I've got 2 more that I can do right now until we have to start closing it up and flaring these additional little supports up as well. I'm just going to bring this one over here now. Okay. And let's get this one. So I don't get any glue on my remote. Okay, here we go. Move that over. Let's see if this is in place. Yeah, this feels pretty good. All right, so while that is doing its thing, I'm going to take and apply glue to these pieces just going to do these few here, and that's going to go on like that. And that is going to help reinforce this lid, make it nice and strong and rigid. I'm just going to close that up like that. Okay, moving right along here. Fold that over. Just make sure it's getting good contact throughout. Okay, I think we're good on those. Fold that over. Yeah, got a cold front coming in. You can hear how windy it is out there. Okay, all right, so now what we're going to do is we need to close this up using this tab here before we put the last layers in place. So go ahead and apply your glue to the tab, similar to the one that we glued the first time when we were initially, I don't think I pushed down on that one enough. Okay, and go ahead and close that up. Just line that up as accurately as you can, just like that. Yeah, and that one, the reason that it came off was not because of the yellow piece on the glitter, it's because the glitter didn't have time to dry completely. That's okay. So I'm just going to fix that real quick, and then over here on this one, you can't really see it, that one there, I'm going to start applying my glue on top of the tab, work around the flower so I can add the glitter to this piece to finish it off. Just get that centered. Okay. And then just like we did on the first one, or the first 5, go ahead and apply your glue to this little additional reinforcement piece that you see there. And then we're going to take and fold it over on top of the glitter part. Okay, and keep holding that in place because that glitter is nowhere near done if you're using glitter. Okay, so here we have the lid, and if for whatever reason, because you're using glitter like I am, which is probably the only reason, you have these little areas that just did not sit completely flat, grab yourself a scrap piece of paper and just paint a little bit of glue onto that surface and then just press it into place. Okay, and that should hold it nice and secure. And I would just go around and do that to all the sides, okay? But now what we need to do is kind of create this little recessed area here. And you'll have a piece that comes out like this. The texture side is facing me right now. And we're going to take those tabs and fold them out like this so that we have a mountain fold here. And then what we're going to do is pop this inside. And actually, let's just go ahead and put glue on one of the tabs. We're going to anchor one. Okay. We'll spread that out like so. And I'm going to take that and press it up against the inside of one of the sides so that it's nice and flush with the top and secured into the 2 corners here on each side as well. And if you want, you can take this and put it down on your surface and press down on the tab from the inside as well. Just make sure that this lip is nice and flush. You can run your finger along that edge and feel it. It should feel nice and flush. Then we're going to go to the opposite side. We're going to apply our glue to this tab. Make sure that the other tabs are inside. And we're going to slide this one in. Nice and flush. Nice and centered between those 2 corners. If you get a little bit of glue that seeps out, don't worry about it because we have another lip that we're going to glue on top of this to kind of seal this completely. All right, and then press down from the inside. There we go. So this side and this side are secure. You can go ahead and now what we're going to do is we're going to actually work our way from the inside. I'm going to take and apply some glue to one of the tabs from the inside. So I'll grab this one here. We're going to take it and push it up against the back of this surface, making sure that this top lip is flush. And then you can just put that on your surface and press down. Then we'll go over to the opposite tab, fold it down, apply your glue, just like we just did. And same thing. Just pop that in there, make sure it's centered, flush with the top, like so. You can push that tab down. Make sure it's flush from edge to edge, corner to corner, just like that. And that should just leave two tabs, one here, and I'm running out of glue. I'm going to take that tab and push it up against the inside wall. Make sure, at this point, you really can't move it around because it's anchored on 4 of the 6 sides, but you can make sure that it's flush with the top. There we go. And we'll go to this last one here. I'm going to have to go through and clean up these little edges here because of that glitter, and that's okay. I don't want to waste your time with that, so I'll do that after the fact here. Again, just make sure that's nice and flush. Put that down on your surface and press down. And there we go. Okay, nice and strong. All right, now we're going to take this piece and we're just going to pop that right in. Might be a little snug, but it'll go. It helps if you put it in evenly all the way around. There we go. See how that works. Okay. And these little tabs here are going to get glued to the top of that lip. So let's start on one side. Throw a little bit of glue on that little tab, that little small little guy, and press that down. Okay, if you want, what you can also do is put that down on your surface, grab yourself a thin dowel, and you can push on that from the inside here, like this. I think that's probably the way to go. There we go. Now we're going to go from here to over here, fold this back, apply your glue to that tab, fold it over. Okay, you can take it, lay it down, and press that into place using a dowel. Pretty easy. Okay, then pick another tab here, doesn't matter which one at this point. Grab this one here and apply some glue onto this tab, nice and easy. Fold it over on top and push down from the inside using a dowel. Try to push the dowel up against both walls, this wall here on this side and the exterior wall, all the way corner to corner. There we go. And then we're going to go over here to the side opposite of the side we just did. And fold that over, put it down on your surface, push down from the inside with a dowel. Okay. And that should just leave 2. Got one here, and again, this is not really moving anywhere at this point. It's already anchored on 4 sides. Fold it over, push down with the tab. Yeah, and we were ambitious to use glitter on these flowers, so I'm gonna have to go in and use my painting technique and clean up these little seams that just are not sitting flat. And that's okay. Not a big deal. Okay, and we have one tab left here. I'm going to apply my glue, fold it over, And press it down from the inside. Okay. So there is our recessed little lid, and then we have this piece. It's going to cover it all up and make it nice and pretty. Okay, so what we can do here is just apply a nice thin layer of glue all the way around the perimeter. I'm just going to do little circular motions because I am going to take and spread this out with my finger to thin it out, and also just make sure that I'm getting it out to the edge on both the exterior perimeter and the inside perimeter. Just spread it out nice and thin. All the way out to the edge, inside and out. There we go. And we'll take this piece, and you can kind of start on one side, get it anchored. Make sure it is centered, corner to corner. And just work your way all the way around. There we go. Making sure that the exterior edge looks nice and clean. Okay, so it's pretty much time to just kind of jazz this box up. Now, to create the illusion of a dimensional honeycomb, what we did was we actually took and layered this 4 times. Now, if you don't want to do that, you don't have to. I thought it was nice, but if you are about conserving your paper and don't want to do that, then that's fine. Just contour out or erase the parts you don't want. And with this, I wouldn't worry about getting glue on every single inch of this. Just try to cover as much of the grid as you can. And then grab, I actually inked this top one. Just want to match up the bee, the little silhouette of the bee, I should say. Okay. Just going to give it a nice dimensional look. I thought maybe we could get away with using some foam squares to elevate it more. And actually, you know what? Maybe we can. Let me see here. If you cut these in half, yeah, you technically could. And I might actually just even do that, just to kind of give it a little more depth. Because I think initially, Diana wanted to go like 6 layers, and I thought that was a little excessive. So just go ahead and apply your glue onto the grid. Get as many of the little sections as you can. I don't think you have to get every single one. Okay, just like I said, match up the little bee. Got little squirts of glue kind of popping out, but they ain't got nowhere to go. They'll just kind of disappear. Okay, so there's the 3rd layer. Flip this around and go 4. Just try to go easy on the glue. Okay. There's your 4th layer. Now, if you're not using foam squares, then obviously layering the paper is your best bet to get that dimensional look. Because once we're done with this, I'm actually just going to take this, and this is just going to get pushed right inside. Yeah, so I'm going to actually try this method here. If you don't want to use foam squares, you don't have to. I'm going to go around the perimeter with these because I thought that it would be really cool to get a lot of dimension out of this. And I think it would be cool. So what I'm going to do actually when I trim these is instead of trimming them in half, I'm going to trim them into like thirds almost. Okay, so you can see this little line of foam squares. And I'm going to focus around the perimeter. It's already 4 layers thick, so it should be pretty darn sturdy. Now obviously on the B, you can do full foam squares there. And I'm going to flip this over and just push down. And you know what? I don't even think I need to really put any on the inside because this thing, with it being 4 layers thick, I think that's plenty. So you don't have to use foam squares, like I said. I want to because I love when I can add shadows to a paper project by way of adding dimension to a paper project. Those shadows just really add a lot of interest, especially in photographs or to the naked eye. Okay, so we're going to pop this inside here. It might be a little tight, but it'll go. What I would do is just kind of start by nudging or pushing it into one corner and then just get it into the rest. Okay, so yeah, you can see the nice little shadows that creates there. All right, so we're gonna add, we're gonna go around the sides here of the lid and add some little flowers. I'm gonna grab a dowel and I'm gonna pinch the tip of each of these little petals between my finger and the dowel and then just kind of curl it towards me just to train them so that they look a little more interesting instead of being all flat. And I'm going to repeat that for all of the flowers actually, not just these, but the ones that go on top of the lid as well. Because we're creating a little scene on top of the little honeycomb grid with a little bee and so on and so forth. Okay. All right, let's just repeat that process a couple more times. And these are going to be just dimensional little flowers. You can embellish them with some rhinestones or some pearls. Probably go with something pink, maybe a hint of like, I don't know, maybe what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, it's the flower. The citrus thing we just made, a grapefruit, like a nice grapefruit color, maybe something a little bit darker. Just gonna match that up with that little circle that's on there. And that's really nice. Just take your time, make sure that if you are moving as fast as I am, that your flower doesn't fall off. Just like that. How about that? Yeah. Give it a good press in the center. That's what I didn't do. Okay. Obviously the white flowers are already there, so you don't really need to do much with those. Okay. Excuse me. Just work your way around the horn. There we go. And it just adds a nice dimensional touch. You know that bees are obviously attracted to flowers, and you know, the initial design was for flat flowers, but it's like, yeah, you know what? Why are we doing flat? We're working with paper. Let's add as much dimension as we can, otherwise you can just print it out. Don't you think? There you go. See, that's nice. Okay. All right, so that's that. Now let's put together our little bumblebee. Okay. So we have a series of little stripes. Should be a total of 3 of those. Okay. And the way this is going to work, well, first off, we're going to have some wings here. Okay, and you'll notice that one set of wings has a little tab and one doesn't. What we're going to do is we're going to sandwich these together, but I do have some of this specialty paper. This is like a Mylar, and what we're going to do is we're going to apply glue to the perimeter of the wing. Just cake it on there real good. And this is one of the reasons we went with a white wing instead of a black wing, was because we're sandwiching Mylar, and if it did get a little messy, it's not really going to show up on white as much as it would on black. Okay, so we're going to pop that Mylar right on there. And then while it's still like that, go ahead and just add another layer of glue on top. And actually, grab this other one, this other piece that does not have the little tab, and just do some dots of glue. I'm going to have you thin this out with your finger before we apply it, because we do not want to blemish that Mylar. Okay, and we're literally just going to sandwich that Mylar between these two layers of the wing, just like that. Give that glue a few seconds to kind of set a little bit before we go pushing it. Because when we give that a push, it's going to start spreading that glue out a little bit, and hopefully not too much of it bleeds onto the Mylar. So just very carefully start pushing it into place. That glue will mostly dry transparent. That looks pretty good. Okay, so we'll do the same thing here. Let's grab your little Mylar piece and begin applying glue to one half of the wing. Okay. And I'm going to dab that with my finger to thin out that glue. Move it out of the way there. Grab your Mylar, make sure your fingers are clean. If you don't have Mylar, you can just leave it. You don't really have to put it on there. It's still going to look cool. Okay, go ahead and grab the other half of our bumblebee wing sandwich. Hit that with your finger to thin it out and spread that glue out. And then pop it right on there. Make sure it's lined up as accurately as possible. Give that a good press. Okay, so we're going to take and we're going to grab our gold foil piece, and you're going to apply glue to that. I'm going to glue that onto our brown piece. I'm just going to match this up with the little slits for the wings. Just get that lined up as accurately as you can. Press that down, just like that. Okay, we're going to take our wings, we're going to poke them through the gold foil part, and I'm actually, we're going to put the shorter part of the wing is going to be at the bottom. Okay, so what we're going to do here is push this in as far as it'll go, and then we're going to put glue on this little tab here, and then fold that in up against the back of our bee. And that should naturally kind of elevate the wing. See how it does that? Okay, so feed the other one through as well. Same thing. And apply your glue there. Just like that. Okay, so there's that. All right, we're going to take this whole thing now and glue it onto the black layer of our bee, like this. Okay, so go ahead and flip this around, apply your glue. And let's get that matched up. We're going to take and ultimately foam square this to the box to create even more dimension. There we go. Press that down. Now you'll notice on this gold foil piece, if you cut yours out of gold foil, if you just did like a yellow, that's fine too. You'll still have a series of little score marks. Okay, so find the smallest piece, and the smallest piece is going to go on top. And like I mentioned, this is actually the bottom of this little piece is going to be on top of that first top score mark to create the little strip or stripe on the bumblebee. And that's the first one. Second one is going in the middle here. And just make sure that it looks like it fits before you commit. Okay. And just glue that one down. And then the last one, that one, again, score mark on this one is going to be at the bottom of this piece. And make sure that it's flush against the sides as well. There we go. Okay, so there's our bee. It's cute. Now we'll put the bee on last. All that's left at this point is just to kind of style our flowers. And we can do the same thing with these. You can flare them out, or with this one here, with this white one, go ahead and fold everything up in towards you, and then you can take and pinch the tip and curl it outward. I don't like this dowel, it's kind of rigid on one side. Just make sure I'm lining it up right so that the tips are kind of drooping, but the rest of the flower is kind of standing up a little bit, coming in towards the center, or up towards the center. Okay, so you can give that a little push upward, like that. Okay, and the bee's going right here. See, there's a little circle right there. Go ahead and put a drop of glue right there, and that's where this little fella's gonna go. Just line that up like so. Okay, here, you notice there's a tiny little dot right here. We're going to put ourselves a little pink flower there. And with this one, you can just literally take it and curl those petals up with your finger. And then you can even just take it and twirl it between your fingers to elevate it a little bit. Put a little drop of glue on there. And pop that right in there, like so. Okay, so right here, add a little drop of glue. I'm going to add this purple flower. Okay, just below that, we have this pink one. And just like I did on the side of the box, I'm going to flare these up. Kind of like them when they're flared up, better than down. Train these petals up a little more. Okay, that's going to go right here. And that's just getting glued down flat. Don't forget to grab your favorite little embellishments, whether they be pearls or rhinestones. Put them in the centers of those flowers. Okay, here, I'm going to take this purple one and add that one there. And that just leaves one more. And it's a pink one. Hopefully yours is pink too. I think it should be. If it's not, whatever color you have, just add it there. Sometimes things get a little wonky and lost in the shuffle here. For all I know, that flower could be from a different project, but it shouldn't be. It could just be that it's different than my prototype. And my last little pink flower, just gonna twirl it between my fingers to bring those petals up. You can see the little circle there. Throw a little dot of glue, add your flower. Okay, and then we'll take our little bee and we'll flip them over. Flip them over, just apply a few foam squares onto the main part of his body. Obviously you can see there that we left a shadow element for his torso so that you can specifically do this. Or if you want to glue it down flat, that's fine, but I really think adding, you know, you could maybe even go 2 layers. of foam squares. Let's do that. I want them to have some depth. I think that's cool. Okay. All right. And just match that up with the shadow element of our bee. And there you have it. So there is our beautiful honeycomb box. And don't forget to add your little rhinestones or pearls on the flower centers just to jazz it up, and that's gonna do it. Well, that's gonna do it for our honeycomb gift box. I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. If you did, please take a moment, visit us on our YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button. While you're there, hit the little bell so you get notifications anytime we release a new project, whether it be paid or free. And if you make this or anything from our new bundle, I'd love to see it, and so would the rest of our community. So head over to your Facebook and do a search for Dreaming Tree Official. That's where you'll find myself and over 46,000 of our crafty friends. So hope you had a blast, and as always, look forward to crafting with you again. Oh, geez. No, 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 no. Here, you can see yourself here. Are we taking a Sour Patch Kid break? Here, go. Can you say please? Say please. Say please. Okay, here you go. There you go. Is that good? Is it good? No, hold on. Dada's turn. Can I have a nose kiss? Here, let me help you. Say please. There you go. You dance for me. Okay. Thank you. Can I have a nose kiss? One more. Who's that? It's Peyton, yeah. And who else? Who's that? No, that. Where's Dada? Dada. Yeah. Where's Peyton? Here he is. You want another one? Yeah. Say please. Please. There you go. Can Dada have one? And don't break that, okay? I need that. I'll share it with you. There you go. Have a kiss. Thank you. Last one. And then you gotta go bye-bye. Or go. Look, all gone. Uh-oh. You say uh-oh.